Well, a pleasant good afternoon to you, or I should say a good evening to you. I am Rufus Bill, and I would like to welcome you to Talking To. Talking To is a weekly show that is hosted by yours truly, Joanne Tolson Fuller and Justin Hearn. And what we talk about are things that are going on in the news, human interest stories, and stories that will help enhance your life, information that will make you a better person or make you to think in a different manner, have a different perspective on subjects. And we love doing it. And we've been doing it for 2 years now. And we come to you every Sunday evening, 7 o'clock p.m., from 7 to 8. And today is July 2nd, 2023. I am once again Rufus Bill, and I'm so glad that you're taking the time to join me live and or in the rebroadcast, or if you pull us up rather, in the archive. Thank you so much for taking out your time and listening and viewing and being a part of the family. Today we're going to start something new. So if you want to join in the conversation, not only join in the conversation, but join in on the live, on the broadcast and be visual, you can just do it. And you say, well, how can I do it? What you do is go over there into the chat, into the comment section, and just type in your email address. We'll send you a link and include you in part of the broadcast. We'll be more than happy to do just that. So this is the holiday weekend, and a lot of you, well, look at that, Erica Boyle. Oh man, good afternoon, Erica. I am so glad that you are tuning in to Talking To. Erica is a Cass Tech graduate and Wayne State University graduate, an actress. She's very active in her church. She has her own business, the Bling business. You can look her up on Facebook, Erica Boyle, and get some beautiful jewelry for almost nothing. Very nice jewelry, very classic jewelry. I think she's even doing a line of sunglasses right now. I don't know, but check her out. You'll be glad you did. She's a very good person. Very good person. Once again, thank you for listening. So we are preparing for the holiday. So in preparation for the holiday, there are some things that you must remember to do. Number one, if you're having a cookout, make sure the person that's barbecuing or doing the grilling knows how to grill. Wait, let's back up. The person who lights the fire, make sure that whoever has that task, that they have receipts to let you know that they know how to start a fire. I was at an event, and the gentleman who was designated to light the fire uh, lit the fire before it was time. So when it was time to get the meat and the various food items on the grill, it was too late, and he used the entire box, the entire bag of charcoal. So that's very important. Second, the person who's cooking the meat, make sure they know what they're doing. I can recall several events that I've attended, and I said no more. Meat was raw. They told me, well, this is the way you cook steak. You don't cook it all the way. Yes, you do. If that's what I want. Now, although I don't eat well done steak, but I don't eat freshly cut steak from the butcher from the cow. just brown in the top and the bottom. So that's number two. Now, number three, before you go inviting your family members and different friends over, make sure you're planning for enough food. All right. Make Now you have to have enough food for the first go round, the next round, and for the seconds. You have to have at least enough for that. Then you have to have enough for the people to go back around and only pick what they want from the food selection. They tried the beans, baked beans, the first go round. It was like, they nasty. The second, when they went for seconds, they didn't get that. They got something else. But that third go round, that's when your guests are picking whatever they actually enjoy the most. Now, the fourth go round is what you take home. People are going to come, and I didn't know that this was such a common practice for you to go to the barbecue or to the outing with your take home plates. Never, I just learned that. I guess I'm still living back in the early 2000s, Erica. Yes. So people come with take home plates and have the nerve to have tops to the bottoms. So you have to make sure you have enough food for all of that. And then if you're trying to save some for yourself, you better look out for yourself first. As soon as it comes out of the oven or off the grill, get your plate, and get your immediate family. Get them situated. All right. So I'm giving you some great tips, and you're listening to Talking To. Like and share, and learn the next very important thing. If you're having a barbecue, you have to have enough beverages, be it the soda pop or your lemonade or water. Make sure it's cold. Now, a lot of times in planning, people have always said, "Well, bring your own bottle." Now, personally, I'm not attending any party like that because very rare will I take a bottle anywhere. Not for me to drink. I may bring it as a hostess gift, a hostess gift. But this is a common practice. They say bring your own bottle. Okay, so if that's one of your rules and regulations for your party, no problem. But let me suggest to you, have at least one beverage. Maybe do strawberry daiquiris. Pretty much everybody likes strawberry daiquiris. With that, you can conserve your chips being your money, and just have one beverage. Now you can also, in the invite, you can say, I will have strawberry daiquiris, but bring what you like to drink. But make sure, try it. Believe me, try it. Have something, because sometimes people may not, the fourth is falling after the first. So some people may have a little extra cash, and then some may not have an extra cash. And generally, when people go to parties or barbecue, they go in to eat and drink and do whatever other things that adults do. So be mindful of your invited guests and just have a daiquiri. Don't have a daiquiri bar because that'll get costly, but do a strawberry daiquiri or a watermelon daiquiri and make that. And so you can offer something, and also have something for those who do not drink. You'd be surprised with the amount of people who don't drink. The latest conversations that I've seen people have is about the potato salad. Now, I am a big lover of potato salad, and I can even stomach potato salad that's not as tasty as it should be because of my love for potato salad. But I know one lady in particular who makes potato salad just, I mean, every time it tastes the same, and that taste is good. I won't name her. However, she makes great potato salad. But the conversation recently or currently is the raisins in potato salad and the walnuts in potato salad. Now, most of the people that I've heard comment about raisins in potato salad don't like it. Now I don't know if they've tasted, because we're a creature of habit. If we see something that looks different, we're not even going to try it and just automatically say, "Ew, that's nasty." But I like raisins. Now, I've never experienced raisins in potato salad, and I won't say that I won't experience it. And it might have a nice little taste to it. It might be like or similar to um, what is that? Like salt and vinegar, or how some people put salt on watermelon, the sugar and the sweet. Because unless your potato salad is not sweet, then that raisins would bring that sugary sweetness to it. I don't know. If you have ever tried raisins in the potato salad, join in into the conversation. You can go right into that chat and type in your comment about potato salad. I once had an event, and I served potato salad, and it did not have enough mustard in the salad for some of the guests. And I had a preconceived notion that it might not be, because some people like mustard and some people don't, but they would like to see the potato salad yellow. But I had a resolve for that. I had already put mustard in serving dishes so that they could add and have eat to their heart's content. So, what did we talk about? Make sure you know the person who's lighting the fire knows how to light it properly. Number two, make sure the person that's grilling knows how to grill properly. Number three, have enough food for first, second, the picks and take home. And number four, uh, have some type of beverage, an adult beverage, to offer your guests. It's just a nice way of entertaining. I'm not Don't stack the bar. I recall the time I went to an event or to a little gathering, and I was serving as the bartender. And so then people were bringing their drinks, and there was one guest that came, and I'm not knocking anybody who loves this. And they brought a gallon and a half of some type of wine. Have you seen that big gallon? Like, you mostly see it in the party stores. You don't see it too much like in Meyer or big chain stores. It's usually targeted for party stores. Anyway, so the bar had been set with various types of liquor: the vodka, the gin, the rum, whatever he had, whatever you could think of, he had. Now, it was my job as a bartender, just to make sure that people were not pouring more, just wasting the beverage. So that I did that. But getting back to the story, so he brought in his gallon and a half bottle of wine, and then he saw he saw the bar. He took it back to his car. He said, "Oh, I'll just keep this for me, and I'll drink what you have." And I'm saying that to say, maybe kind of get away from having a full bar. A full bar entices people to drink. If you just keep it, and it can be costly, because if you have the various liquors, you have to have the various chasers. What is it? Cranberry for your, I guess, vodkas, your orange juice, your papaya juice, your whatever the chaser is, or I should say the mixer is. And then soda. Everyone doesn't like Coke. Everyone doesn't like Pepsi. And some people don't want any sugar pops. They want diet. So just to save on that money tip, you just have a selected beverage, frozen daiquiris, or what's really a good drink to serve, mimosas anytime, morning, noon, night, midnight, overnight. It's a nice smooth beverage and not as costly. But the main thing that you want to do is have fun. Games are so big now. I would have never thought that games would become as big as they are at gatherings. You may have gone to a game night and have participated. When I grew up in the church, and isn't that funny? I follow the liquor story with growing up in church. When I grew up in church at Burns Avenue, 5481 Burns Street, that was very popular then. And I remember when we would have the youth would get together and we would go wherever the designated place was, we would play games. And it was very fun during that time because we were minors. And we would play Bible games. I can't really remember. Maybe Operation could have been one. Um, I think at that time, that was pretty much all that we were playing. I know we didn't play card games, but Bible games, knowing your right, the transition, Erica, knowing your books of your Bible, or matching, how you lay all of the cards, the Bible cards down that have all of the Bible books of the Bible, and then you try to match one with the other. So it'd be two Genesis, two Exodus, two Leviticus, Numbers, and all. Yes, I do know the books of the Bible. I would continue, but I won't. And so that was common at that time, and that's like 20 plus years ago. And just to see the resurgence in games now and bringing family and friends together, it's really nice to see. So if you're entertaining, make sure you have a couple games. I don't say that they have to be Bible games. People still love Uno. I had no idea people were still into Uno, but the cards, spades, what is that other one? Bidwits. And there's some various other games. Now, I particularly like games that have a lot of movement in them. And I said if I ever did another summer party, we would do games like with the water balloon, passing the balloon around, and water games and things of that nature, because they're fun. But the main objective is to have fun on the holiday. Do not stress yourself out if you can't even buy a chicken wing to put on your grill. If you plan, you said, look, Rufus, all I'm gonna do for the holidays is have a pizza, which I'm thinking about doing. But whatever it is, if you're gonna be with people, have a great time. If you're gonna be with yourself, have an even greater time. Learn to appreciate you. I had a buddy that just celebrated his birthday. Oh, he had a big old shindig last weekend with all of the who's who and what's what, and it is what it is. And we as a part of his birthday, he took a trip. And he went by himself, first time ever going anywhere alone. And he talked about how much fun he had with himself, by himself, I should say. So if you're going to be alone this holiday, maybe you recently broke up with your boo because it's the summertime and he or she may want to be free, or maybe your wife has left or your husband left. Maybe whatever the experience is or the scenario is that causes you to be alone, don't sweat it. chill out. If you're in an apartment, put on a good movie, if you're going to be at home, whatever, alone, put on a good movie, or walk outside, take a walk, or color. As wild as that may sound, color. But whatever you do for this 4th of July, have fun and appreciate you. Now, oh, I know what. I wanted to share some things with you. I need to get a loudspeaker for my neighbors who think that they are in the federal, uh, the what is it called? The armed services, Army, Navy. What is the rest? Army, Navy, Marines, and the Air Force. Huh. Fireworks laws. Fireworks laws. The legal days for the fireworks are December 31st until 1 a.m. on January 1st. You know, people do fireworks for the new year. Saturday and Sunday only before Memorial Day. That's the only time when you're supposed to do it, but not on Memorial Day. Now, this is a law. This is a law that people don't adhere to, but can be called on the carpet about it. And you mess with that Mayor Duggan, or as some people call Mayor Dugan, he may want to enforce that depending on what mood he's in. June 29th through July 4th until 11:45 p.m. Not all night long. That's illegal in the city of Detroit. You all should be done Saturday and Sunday before Labor Day until 11:45 p.m. that Sunday evening. No fireworks should be done on Labor Day. I know some of you probably had no idea about this. That's why I'm bringing it to your attention. So if you have a neighbor that could be like Rufus Bill, and he says, it's 3:00. Time out. I'm calling the police. And the police will be in their right to arrest you for breaking the law. There's no ignorance to the law. I just use me for an example. I'm not like that all the time. Now, illegal days, you can get up to a $1,000 fine. All other days besides those mentioned above. It also says, please be considerate of your neighbors. Thank you. This information was released by the 8th Precinct for the Detroit Police Department. So I thought it was newsworthy for those of you who are spending thousands of dollars on fireworks. Those are the times and days that you should do it. Can you believe fireworks are so expensive? Listen, when I bought fireworks, if I spent $20, I'm thinking I went over budget. And that's with the firecrackers, what were those other things, the poppers, and the almighty sparkle. That was it for me. And as you well know, that is ancient. That is bedrock. That is caveman time. Because one firework alone can cost $150. Just one. Now you get a couple of those and some other little things, especially if you're known on your block or at the party, at the picnic or whatever, ooh, Rufus, he bring all them fireworks. And you're trying to keep up that image, spending all that money. It's shocking. It is shocking. So that's some information for you about the fireworks and what's legal, the legal times, and all of that great stuff. Now, I want to talk about the Memphis police. I don't know if you have been following the case, but the Memphis police, the 5 guys that were responsible for the life of Tyre Nichols. They were in court this week, and it was very interesting to me. And I wish that Justin was here today because he might could shed light on this particular subject. And if you don't know, Justin is in law enforcement, and they were in court. The five police officers, and the very interesting thing about this, these are all young African American males, millennials. Let's see, we have Demetrius Haley, 30 years old, Emmett Martin III, he is 28, Desmond Mills Jr., 32, Justin Smith, 28, and Tadarius Bean, he's 24. So every one of those officers, 32 and under, the youngest being 24. I don't know if you saw it on television, but the question I had and I posed, and if join in the conversation, feel free. They were the only people that were wearing masks. They were wearing black masks, and the mask reminded me of Hannibal Lecter. Now, of course, it wasn't a head mask. It just covered their nose and their mouth. But you have to go pull up the pictures. And no one else in the courtroom had on a mask but these officers. They were in their suits and they were looking very presentable. They didn't look like murderers. Excuse me, alleged murderers. Had to say that just for legal purposes. But they didn't look like alleged murders because they were all looking very prominent and very civic and honorable. That's the best word. They looked honorable. But those masks really threw me off. So I don't know if their attorneys told them to wear it, or if I don't know if they're still in jail. And because of them being in jail and with the environment that comes with being in jail, maybe due to sickness or any other ailments, maybe they had those masks on. But it seemed to send some type of message to me. I don't know what anyone else got from it, and maybe other people has not even really paid any attention to it. But here we have 5 young black males standing in front of the judge, and 2 of the 5 are trying to get to be tried individually, but because of the cost, the reason why they're being tried together, the Memphis the court system said because of the cost it would take to have a trial like that. I've never really heard that, and I would have to have a legal brain on to explain that, or to explain that, because that almost doesn't seem legal, but I'm sure it is. Well, I guess it is. I don't know. Erica, I don't know if you know. Excuse me. So anyway, 2 are trying to have their trials separately, but they're standing there in front of the judge, in front of all of the cameras all over the world with these masks. And this is my opinion. It just seemed and sent a message to me that these were animals. Forget about what we have seen in terms of the video and what they did or what the camera captured of their behavior, but their appearance made them seem like monsters. And if this is going to be their apparel for court, can you imagine the jury looking at 5 Black young men with this mask? I don't think that they're going to even pay attention to evidence. I don't think they're going to pay attention to videos or to audio, because in their mind they're looking and they're like, yeah, these are criminals. They did it. They're animals. They beat Tyree to death. They heard his screams and did nothing. Write them off. Now, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Does that always work? Is that always the case? No, it's not. It really isn't. I think personally, unless they were if they needed to wear a mask, I don't think they should have been wearing black masks. And one of the officers, he had on a regular, medical mask, and it changed his entire look. Yes, it was a mask, but he didn't look as a monster as these others did. And if this is some of your family members, I'm not calling them monsters, but I'm just saying their appearance. Their appearance in court does not seem the appropriate apparel for jurors. You get there in the jury box and you're looking. Now you know what's happened. You've seen some things on television, and they've already picked it. They go through the process of selecting the juror, and then you're looking. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting, and I would advise you to just watch it, just follow it, and generally you're going to pay attention to what your attorney says do. I don't know, but in the situation and that they're in, maybe they just said, okay, Black power all the way. We're going to black it up with masks. I don't know if they had a chance to see themselves on television. If they did, they might change that part of their look. I don't know. Just something to watch out and to pay attention to. Now, we had been away for 2 weeks. First, we were gone 2 weeks ago for Father's Day, and then last weekend we were gone. So in that span, I was invited to attend the birthday celebration of Deacon Jake Williams. And his daughter, Bridget, she gave him a birthday party. It was held I believe it was in Southfield, Michigan, at an event place, and celebrated 99 years. And so he had family members come in from Chicago, Ohio, various parts of the country. And everyone was just excited and just so happy to be at the celebration. And of course, different people got up to make comments and to wish him well and to express their love to Deacon Williams. I think the icing on the cake is when Deacon Williams wanted to make a comment. And what he got up and did was phenomenal. He quoted Bible verses. He talked about how to live righteous. And he talked about obeying the laws of God and being honorable, and didn't paraphrase word for word. He didn't have the Bible in his hand. He had it in his heart. Come on, somebody. Get on the organ, somebody, because I feel a message coming on. He had the word in his heart, and he kept giving us the word until he didn't give us the word. But I'd like to say to Bridget and to all of the people, Gina and Paviel and Avians. Those are the ones that I know. Those are the names that were called. I'm sure there were other people behind the scenes. Oh, Diane and Kathy, they were at the door. They were the hostess. But lovely event. Thank you so very much for including me, Bridget. I greatly appreciate it. And it was just nice to see a family, together, loving on their patriarch. Today in church, the pastor was speaking about loving your family and how important family is, and how not to let situations between family members break up the relationship. And I was sitting there on the organ, and I was like, wow, great information. She was telling the truth. She gave Bible verses to support her sermon. And I was thinking, she never met none of my family members. I'm joking a little bit. But seriously, I thought about it. I said, that is what we should do. We should let go, forgive. If someone has said something to you, let it go. Pastor Mary R. Ely, she said, if there was a problem, go to the person and find out what the problem is. Now, generally, when we fall out with someone or fall out for a family member after years, you might remember some of the aspects of what happened, but generally you may not can reflect on the entire situation. In those cases, I guess you might as well just bury the hatchet. Now you just say, she talked about going to the person, getting an understanding, getting an awareness of why we're strained, or why is it that when I see you, you turn the other way, or why is it that when I wave at you, Rufus, you don't wave back, using Rufus for an example. And I agree with that. I do. I would say personally, I guess I still have a lot of growing to do when it comes to that. There was a situation, there were several situations that I had with a family member. And I can't pinpoint what it was or what the situation was, because when the unfair treatment began, I was a child. And so he was an adult. So there was very little interaction. At that time, you didn't interact with adults in their conversations. You were at the kids' table, the adults were at the adult table. So I don't know if there was a time that this person said something to me and I might have been honest, because children are honest and they speak their mind. And he didn't like it, But whatever happened, and I'm not even going to say that I'm the root of whatever happened, but he was the adult. And from that point on uh, 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 until the present day, there has been unfair treatment. Now, of course, I'm grown and I'm an adult, and it's just water under the bridge. But I have not taken the initiative, nor has he. Not that that's an excuse, or I should keep it at. Nor has this person um, taken initiative to settle whatever it is that has plagued our relationship for these 20 plus years. And but as the pastor was speaking today and saying that we should go to our family member, and because that's all we have is our family, I said, hell no. Don't wait for me. I'm just being honest. I am. I'm just being honest. I said, man, and it's very interesting because that behavior created tension with their children. And it's important when you, as an adult, and you have children around, your conversation should be very limited in terms of talking about adult things. I still think that the children should not be around. And even to this day, if I'm with someone, at their home, I may say, are the children here? First of all, because I don't want them around me, because I'm ready to cut up or be free in my speech. But certain conversations, especially when you're expressing your inner feelings about someone else, should not be talked about in front of children because they're impressionable. And what are they going to do? They're going to say, well, daddy doesn't like so and so, or mommy doesn't like. And so now they adopt that behavior. And now it's going on from generation to generation, and literally to generation to generation. And I've seen it just in my own experience. Um, so maybe not maybe there's still growth for me, and maybe for you. Maybe you have not been as willing to reach out to somebody in your family and to try to mend the bridge. And maybe it's something up for consideration. Now, I'm not plagued by that. I have not lost 1 minute of sleep because of it, and only thought about it today because the pastor was speaking on it. But if you are experiencing this and you are a lover of family, and because of the distance that may be occurring, and it's bothering you, by all means, go to that family member, or go to that friend, um, and try to make amends, because really they may not even be thinking about you, and you have this on your heart, and well, why maybe that would be the best thing for you. I don't know if you ever remember, during the eight, when we first on the brink of hearing about supermodels. Of course, we always had supermodels. There were not a lot of them. There was Twiggy, Raquel Welch, Beverly Johnson, Amon. I think those were probably, we could be safe to say, the original supermodels. They stood above the rest. Well, as time went on and people progressed, that term became quite normal. And I remember when Naomi Campbell hit the scene. Naomi Campbell is a statuesque, beautiful chocolate woman. Now, when she first hit, she was so striking. It was like, huh? Where'd she come from? Because she had dark features, and at that time she was in her natural state. She hadn't got a lot of money yet. But when that money hit, that put that polish on that diamond. And so she was just Naomi Campbell. Well, Tyra Banks was coming up the ranks. And Tyra Banks, and if you know Tyra or what you see of Tyra, very bubbly. She comes across a lot as if she wants to be very friendly. Hi, Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farms type of person. Well, she was trying to reach out to Naomi Campbell. And they were at some fashion show in Milan. And by this time, I don't think Tyra had got the contract with Victoria's Secret, but I think she was what was the magazine? Maybe the 17 magazine model. So she was getting notoriety from that. So she saw Naomi and she approached her. And she was trying to be whatever it is that she was trying to be. And Naomi Campbell, who was certified as a as the high model, as a supermodel, appeared to have brushed her off. And you know how we can sometimes do that, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. Someone says, hey, hey, and you may not even really be focusing on who that person is. You might have had a bad moment, a bad day. So you're not completely 100% present. Anyway, this is what happened to Tyra with Naomi. And Tyra was so disturbed by that, and it festered, and it was always on her mind. Why doesn't she like me? And what did I do to her? And she didn't reach out to me. And it really bothered her. I don't remember her saying a lot of it in interviews, but on occasion, especially when she got to the status of supermodel and there were conversations about other supermodels. Well, this went on for years until Tyra got her talk show. Tyra got her talk show and she went after Naomi Campbell to be a guest. And Naomi accepted. Tyra is interviewing Naomi Campbell and talking about her illustrious career. And this might have been the time when she was retiring or slowing down or entering another phase of her career, maybe into acting. I don't remember exactly what was going on. But in the interview, Tyra brought up this incident. And Naomi is giving you Naomi, and she's looking. She's doing this. And Tyra begins to cry. Tears running down it. YouTube it. Tears rolling down her face as she's explaining her emotions and how she felt and how it hurt her as an up-and-coming model that Naomi didn't surround her or didn't embrace her with how she felt she should have as a mentor to some or as a pioneer. Naomi Campbell looked at her and said, I don't even remember meeting you. Now imagine this. Now, was Naomi telling a lie? Possibly. Was she telling the truth? Possibly. But she said, I don't even remember meeting you. Now, all these years, all those years passed by and it bothered Tyra until years later, she finally addressed the issue. So what I'm saying to you, if that's the situation with a family member or a friend and it's bothering you, and it's been some time, or if it's been no time, just happened, reach out to them. Do as I say, not as I do. Reach out to them and and um and try to squash it if it can be. If it can't be, then you've done your part and then let it go. Too many times we hold on to things that are not worth holding on to. I have learned at different, when I reflect on different relationships in my friendships, they should have been got the boot long time ago. And when I say a long time ago, like never meeting them kind of type thing. But nonetheless, they were toxic relations. And what was interesting about it, I didn't even realize it, that they were toxic. So, you have to be discerning in your friendships. Anyway, and I'm saying all that to say, if it doesn't work out, let it go. If you go to your family member and they still acting crazy, your friendships, just let it go. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. I had a friend who we were friends for many years, and we became friends when I was working at the radio station. And this particular friend, great singer, traveled the world. That was my buddy. We hung out, we did whatever. I would go to his shows, he would come to my shows. And I thought we were the best of friends. But an incident occurred, and where his girlfriend stole something from me. And when I brought it up to my friend and I said, your girlfriend is a thief and she stole my stuff, and I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate you having me in an environment that your girlfriend is a thief. And if anyone knows me, I can go on and on and on and really talk down, just downgrade you to the bare curb. And I did that for maybe 5-7 minutes, and he finally said something in her defense, and he told me, that's enough, Rufus. I'll call her and ask. And he called, and she said, oh yes, I have the item, but he told me I could have it. But that was a lie. Now she's a thief and a lie. But because of my friendship with him, I reached out to the girlfriend. I said, you know what? Let's squash that. I said, now this is me. I don't remember giving you permission, but if you said I did, I did. Now I know that trollop did not. She did ask me. Yes, she did. And I told her no. And the reason why I told her no, as I said, you can't afford it if anything happens to it. But she stole it. I went and got it back. And it was months later that my friend brought this up again. And he wanted to fight me over this, can I say whore? That's better than hoe, isn't it? Over this lady. See, I can cut up because Joanne and Justin not here today. I behave when they're here. He's gonna fight me over her. He and his roommate. We were out. In fact, it was July 3rd, back in 20 something, 20 maybe 11. And we were outside, and they're gonna try to fight me. And I got up, my keys were in the house, I got my car keys, and I left. And I didn't talk to him maybe for about a week because I wasn't going to talk to him anymore. And he called and he asked, was I all right? Da, 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 da. I said, well, you're calling to see where my head is with the situation. And I wasn't mad. Honestly, I was not mad. And I told him that. I said, I'm not mad. I'm through with you. And I was able to release that friendship just like that. Just like that. I mean, God knows I'm telling the truth. When he called me, because I wasn't calling him, when he called me and I said, no, I'm not mad. I'm done. And he didn't believe me. And he talked to a mutual friend and he was crying the blues and he was talking about how good of a friend I was and this and the other, and he made a mistake. Cry me a river and play me a violin solo, why don't you? But I'm saying that to say I release that. And as we approach as you approach the very next day, the very next moment, and this moment on this day, don't be afraid to let it go. I think we after I assessed our friendship and I saw what I brought to the table and what he brought to the table, that's when I said, oh man, this is a toxic relationship, toxic friendship. But when I released, it was fine. Now, let me tell you, the mutual friend that we have, it just bothered him so that I was able to do that. And so he called and he said, well, look, man, y'all need to squash that. Y'all been friends for years and let's go and meet and talk. So I guess maybe 2 years had passed by this time. And I said, okay, be the bigger person, Rufus. So we all met, and this was in 2019. So that was, and the only reason why I remember the year is because of just certain things that were happening in the world at the time. And so we met and we all went out to dinner. And so I'm sitting there eating my food and I'm waiting. Now, our friend has walked away to give us time to talk. So I'm sitting there kind of with a little, okay, well, where's that apology? Oops, almost said, where's that apology, Negro? To myself. And I'm joining in the conversation and I'm laughing, yeah. Still thinking, where's that apology? Didn't get it. Okay. And he said something. He says, well, why don't we go and hang out? I said, I wish I could. I said, and it was a Saturday. And I said, I have to work tomorrow and I need to be on point for my job. I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to get in any type of environment with you that's going to change your behavior. And then you lash out again. And it probably would not have had it would not be a sweet ending as it were before. What are you saying, Rufus? You're doing a lot of talking. Don't be afraid to let it go. Don't if you go to the person and they're still acting funky, or if they've come to you and you feel in the pit of your gut, or if you're spiritually led and the Holy Spirit says, bye, Felicia, let it be bye. B-Y-E. Bye. You'll be all the better for it. I think, by us being creatures of habit, when we don't like to change. And one of the many things that I've learned from Martha Jean the Queen is she said, that's the one thing that you can count on is change. Change is constant, and you have to be flexible to go with the change. Where's my organ player? And get the deacons ready for the offering. But you do, seriously. You have to be flexible for the change. I hear people today talking about, oh my God, the conditions are so bad, and the people are driving crazy, and this and yes, all of that is true. It's a change, and so you have to go with the change. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to be flexible to navigate in the change. So when I navigated releasing that friend for all of those years, it was the best thing I could have ever done. It was the best thing that I could ever do. So from that point to this point, I haven't seen, I've come in contact. Well, I have seen, I did take that back. We were at an event. I was very cordial. How are you? I'm great. Reached his hand to give, outstretched his hands for a hug. And in that moment, I had to decide, am I hugging him or I'm not? You know what I did? I said, hey, man, we cool. I gave him the thumbs up. I said, hey, we cool, man. We cool. You ain't about to hug me. And I was on a balcony, I think like 36 flights up. And the balcony didn't have a secure enough rail that would prevent me from being pushed over. Now I might be adding a lot of drama to it, but I don't know. Because he could have hugged me. I said, oops. And then there'd be no more Rudy. I'm making light of it. But don't hold on to that stuff. If you're disturbed by the behavior of someone, go to them. If that's going to make you feel better, go do it. Get it off your chest or get an understanding and go on. And on my side, I'm going to work on me. Maybe I'll be a little more, it's not forgiving because I'm very forgiving. Maybe I'll be a little more tolerable. But now I'm in the environment that I'm in, I don't even have that problem because I'm surrounded with people that genuinely love and appreciate me, and the feeling is mutual. Listen, I want to thank you so much for joining me today on Talking to Joanne and Justin. They will be with us next week, and we'll be back on the saddle again. Listen, behave yourself. Now, if you don't have to work tomorrow, cut up today. Rest tomorrow. Relax on the holiday and be on time for that work day on Wednesday, okay? All right. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you being so supportive. Have a great afternoon. Have a great holiday. And we'll see you next week.